Okay, welcome to Brain Fog Month. I am chatting with Kate Driver. Kate, do you want to just tell us a little bit about what you do?
Hello, hi everyone. Yes, I'm a naturopath and women's health coach, and I help women in perimenopause particularly ditch their horrible, annoying symptoms and feel fabulous again. And naturally, because I'm a naturopath, so I do that. I help women empower themselves to heal themselves naturally with lifestyle changes, diet changes, supplements as well.
Cool.
That's really it in a nutshell.
Cool. So brain fog. I mean, it's one of those symptoms that it can really just catch you out of nowhere, and you suddenly feel really stupid, don't you? And what's going on when we experience brain fog?
Yes, and I try and laugh about it because it does. There's no point in getting serious about it because it's meant to be transient as well. So it could start in perimenopause and go through menopause and sort of leave you after menopause, and it does come and go, and other things influence it, but it's mainly your hormones that are fluctuating, and your estrogen's sort of going up and down in perimenopause, and your brain's trying to adjust to it. This is one of the things, like the brain's going, what's going on? And there's certain receptors in the brains that react to the estrogen particularly, and they get a bit confused. And your progesterone drops quite a lot as well. And when the progesterone drops, we have more inflammation in the body, and inflammation can affect our brain as well. But the hormones, this fluctuation and drop in the hormones will affect that part of your brain, which I'm sure everybody knows about, the hippocampus. And that's part of the brain that's responsible for memory and concentration. So if we're stressed even, and then your hormones are changing, and a lot of women do feel stressed because of going through this transition as well. That's part of it. Like, some women get more stressed because they're like, oh, what's happening to me? Oh, this is a terrible, sort of situation. I suppose some women feel like, their body's sort of out of control. So that can cause more stress. Or you might just be stressed anyway. There's always loads of stress in life, isn't there? And stress also shrinks the hippocampus, and that can affect people's memories anyway. So that's part of it. But the hormones also affect your thyroid function, and I find that underactive thyroid, or what we call subclinical hypothyroidism, which is when it's basically the time before, which could be anything from months to years, before a doctor would say, oh, you've got full-blown thyroid problems, you need to go on medication. And it can be, bubbling under the surface for years. So this fluctuation in the hormones, particularly with the women with estrogen dominance in perimenopause, or loads of stress, and so many things affect the thyroid. Then the thyroid, when it's underactive, can cause those symptoms too, and it can be more exacerbated. So thyroid, I just always talk to women about having your thyroid tested very thoroughly. Don't let your doctors just test TSH, or thyroid stimulating hormone. You need to get your free T3, free T4 tested. And I particularly get women to get their thyroid antibodies tested as well, because this is a time that women are more prone to autoimmune diseases. I don't really like calling it diseases, so let's not say that. Autoimmune problems can flare up in perimenopause. So many times doctors don't test for the antibodies, and women might think, oh, I've got a thyroid issue, but they don't realise that it's autoimmune, and there's a lot more that can be done, especially naturally.
So what would you advise people to do to support themselves naturally through this?
Well, when it comes to the hormones, I mean, even though they are dropping, we can still, naturally, I shouldn't say control them, but help them balance more and get you into a situation where they don't affect you as much. And that comes down to, and I generally would look at, firstly, diet and lifestyle. So changing, I think we talked a little bit about this before, but changing your diet and reducing all the inflammatory foods as much as possible, like alcohol, caffeine. They're just going to make your inflammation and your brain fog a bit worse. I mean, sometimes people feel like caffeine lights them up, but long term, it's going to deplete you from nutrients and cause more acidity and inflammation in the body. Things like wheat and sugar, and when we look at what happens if we're talking about diet, what happens in the gut, a lot of women are prone to leaky gut as well, or intestinal permeability. Do most women know about that, don't they, in this group, I would say? What do you think, Emily?
I'm not sure. No, I think talk us through it. I think a lot of people don't know about it. No.
Oh, okay, yeah. So sometimes I just I come across loads of people just say, oh yeah, we all know about that, and every now and then somebody says no, I don't, but I think okay. So I shouldn't assume, because sometimes you might find that somebody doesn't. So leaky gut, I mean, obviously anybody can get it at any age, but it's becoming more prevalent. And since I've been a naturopath, which is 21 years now, I would say it's pretty much, I think it's tripled the amount of people that I see. And a lot of it can be to do with, well, at the moment we're talking about in perimenopause, the hormone fluctuations, the stress to the body with all the changes that are happening, any sort of stress. Because there's that gut-brain connection, the stress will send messages from the brain through the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve connects your brain to all your organs, but also the gut, the intestines, and it affects the bacteria. So we've got thousands of good bacteria in our intestines that should be there in a certain balance. And stress can, because of this connection with the brain and the vagus nerve, can actually destroy a lot of that good bacteria. So can antibiotics, and so can poor diet, too much sugar, too many processed foods, caffeine, alcohol, and things like that. And if that bacteria has been destroyed, and that whatever is affecting the intestinal flora or bacteria happens for far too long, inflammation increases in the intestines, and then the small intestine becomes more permeable. So basically you start absorbing toxins back into the bloodstream, or things back into the bloodstream, undigested food fragments even, that shouldn't be reabsorbed back into the bloodstream, and it actually should be eliminated through the body through your feces. And that's the leaky gut, is basically your body reabsorbing toxins and chemicals and things that shouldn't be reabsorbed back into the bloodstream. And that can definitely cause a fuzzy brain in itself, make you feel like you've got cotton wool in your head. And then that will affect also your thyroid hormone metabolism, your immune system. Obviously, people can get digestive symptoms as well, but not everybody does. That's the interesting thing. I mean, I would say perhaps 2/3 of people that I see, particularly that have leaky gut, they do have digestive symptoms, and it can be anything like bloating, it can be irritable bowel sort of symptoms like constipation or diarrhea, or flatulence. Some people might get, upper stomach, like reflux and or GERD, gastrointestinal reflux, or indigestion, and maybe some of people get constipation, and particularly like if there's constipation, that can be related to your thyroid as well, and that means then you're not eliminating efficiently. And when toxins and food, I shouldn't say food, but you're not eliminating your feces, that can cause more inflammation and brain fog as well. You can feel like, just toxic. Some people say to me, like, I just feel like toxins are building up and I feel a bit yuck. When you just feel yuck. I mean, I'm sure we've all had an experience with constipation in our lives, that we know that it just makes you feel yuck. And, imagine if you're just feeling like that all the time, and some people are. Yeah. So ladies, if you are not using your bowels at least once a day, then this could be contributing to brain fog, and that just means that your organs of elimination are getting, overworked as well. So the leaky gut will affect not only your brain and cause more brain inflammation, but also affect your thyroid function, and then affect your hormones. So it has this sort of circle effect in a way, because your hormones can affect your gut, and the stress can affect the gut and all the transitions in your body, but it can also, the gut bacteria will affect everything, all your other organs and your hormones. And our gut bacteria is really important for metabolizing and eliminating the bad estrogens, and metabolizing your good estrogens, and increasing, if you've got good bacteria, then you have some of the good estriol, the protective one, which is really important to protect us from estrogen dominant cancers, and even things like fibroids and polyps and cysts and things like that as well. So it has this effect that it's all connected. The hormone connection, the gut hormone connection, or the brain gut connection, they're all really connected.
Yeah. So if someone's really struggling with this, and wants to kind of get to the bottom of it, I'm assuming that it's not a kind of a one size fits all. So if people are identifying with stuff you're saying here about leaky gut, they would want to come and work with a naturopath or equivalent to really get to the bottom of it, presumably, rather than just kind of hoping they can get some over the counter stuff and get better.
Yeah. Oh, look, absolutely. Yeah. And there's, I suppose there's so many people out there that say, oh, you know, just take this for leaky gut and that's it. But you might not have it for a start. So you want to find out, okay, do you have it? What else can be contributing to it? You know, and it can just be, like I said, the stress and inflammation in the body. And inflammation is increased in perimenopause, but there could be so many other factors. Everybody's going to be slightly different. Not everybody's going to have a thyroid issue. Not everybody's going to be constipated. Not everybody will have leaky gut. And if they have got brain fog and, you know, concentration and memory issues, then you can take some general supplements, you know, in particularly all the good oils, you know, and omega-3 fatty acids are really important. And I look at, you know, then saying to everybody, you've got to look after your digestion and your gut and your diet. So, you know, eat really healthy, unprocessed foods as much as you can, and take prebiotics and probiotics. And you can take, there's a good amino acid actually, just for general, if you just want to feel a bit brighter. It's called acetyl L-carnitine. It's an amino acid. And that actually does, I use that quite a lot in a certain supplement with my clients. And it sort of is in there for energy. It sort of helps us burn fat more efficiently. But it actually does make you feel more clearer. It actually reduces brain fog. So that's something really good for people to try. And if I'm suggesting anything, please make sure that you're safe to take them with many medications you may be taking, ladies. Don't just go off and take everything, I suggest. But yeah, and there's still some good herbs as well. But then again, they can be really, personalized as well. You know, maybe we'd look at a combination of herbs that will help with your concentration and memory. Like Ginkgo Biloba is a really good one. A lot of people know about Ginkgo Biloba being really good at good for circulation and cardiovascular health. But it's also a very strong antioxidant and reduces inflammation. So that's a good general one. But you also need to, you know, make sure that that's safe for you, particularly if you've got any, you know, severe illnesses or you're on any medications. They can be contraindications with some herbs and medications. So that's always good to check. But if you want particular long-term, like a resolution, and get rid of it because you can, and balance your hormones and whatever else is going on to increase these symptoms, and yeah, you're better off getting it personalized for you and getting somebody to help you. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kate. I know we could keep going for hours, but I'm gonna call it to a close there, because I think we've given such a lot of information to people. And if somebody's watching this and they've already got brain fog, I think if we give them too much more information, it's going to be too much.
Yeah. Absolutely. Sorry, ladies. If you've got brain fog, I apologize.
So
yeah,
that's been awesome. And people can reach out to you if they want more information, can't they?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I have I have a program for perimenopause, particularly online, and that covers this quite a lot, and it covers every system of the body and will help you hugely. And I consult as well with the programs, or just consult online as just a standalone sort of treatment as well. So yeah, I can absolutely help. If anybody wants to ask me any questions, even in the group, just reach out. Thank you. Yeah, that'd be great.
Awesome. Thank you, Kate.
Thank you, Emily. Thanks everyone for listening. And